Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Ever since Triple H took charge of WWE's creative department, he has been making several big decisions. Forming and breaking up tag teams and factions have been one of the most common traits of his regime. Another big move might be on the horizon, as the game could be planning to disband a newly formed alliance on Raw next week. Roxanne Perez and Giulia may part ways on the upcoming episode of The Red Brand. The two stars have been working together as a tag team since coming to Monday Night Raw. Their alliance was formed much before that, when they were in NXT. However, the duo faced a huge defeat in a tag team match against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky last night on Raw. Following that, tensions were visible between the two backstage. A frustrated Perez was seen telling her partner about the things they needed to work on. However, Giulia rebuffed those comments right away, seemingly disregarding the idea of working with the prodigy again. The beautiful Madness walked away with a look of disdain on her face. This seems to be a major indication that she does not intend to stick with the prodigy any longer. The Triple H-led creative team might officially break up their alliance next week, showcasing a major segment on Raw. The Stanford-based promotion seemingly has major plans for Roxanne Perez and Giulia as single stars in the women's division. The two are former NXT Women's Champions, and it remains to be seen how things shape up for them on the flagship show in the coming weeks. After what happened backstage on Raw, the split of Perez and Giulia seems inevitable. The former NXT Women's Champions may go their separate ways. However, the biggest question is whether Triple H is planning a character change for the two stars on Monday Night Raw. It does not look like that. Perez's heel run has been quite entertaining, and she has given several incredible feuds and storylines in NXT during this villainous arc. Turning her babyface at this point would ruin the prodigy's years of hard work, and it might look quite redundant. Meanwhile, Giulia has recently embarked on her heel run, and the Triple H-led creative may have huge plans for her. A character change seems unlikely, and the beautiful Madness may remain in her villainous persona and continue to add more layers to it. Besides, the Monday Night Raw roster currently needs some vicious heels, and Roxanne Perez and Giulia suitably fill that void. It will be quite interesting to see what the future holds for the two stars on the main roster. Apart from penning engaging articles, Depp has also done scriptwriting for a few local short films and has directed and produced one of them. When the spotlight dims, he loves to escape into the world of web series and anime, indulging in the magic of storytelling. Depp has been an avid WWE and cricket fan since childhood and believes the blend of his love for sports and knowledge of writing led him to become a sports writer. Given his love and passion for this industry, he has worked for several top firms, both as a seasoned writer and as an editor. WWE programming, especially on Raw, thrives on drama, and the intricate relationships between wrestlers often provide the best moments of tension. One of the most compelling dynamics in wrestling is the formation of alliances, seemingly unbreakable bonds that fans are led to believe will dominate storylines, only to have them torn apart in dramatic fashion. These alliances, often built on mutual respect or common goals, are the breeding grounds for some of WWE's most engaging rivalries and shocking moments. What happens when the person you least expect, someone known for both his leadership and manipulation, steps in to break them apart? In this context, let's examine the possibility of Triple H intervening to break up a newly formed alliance on WWE Raw next week amid rising tensions. Would this move fit his persona and character arc? How would it affect the wrestlers involved? Let's break it down. To understand the reasoning behind Triple H's involvement, we must first consider the environment surrounding the alliance. In recent weeks, Raw has seen the emergence of various new alliances. These partnerships are often created for practical reasons, whether it's to gain momentum, control power, or take on a common enemy. For example, we've seen teams form to combat dominant forces like the Bloodline or the chaos brought by established superstars like Seth Rollins or Bobby Lashley. Let's assume the alliance in question is one that has been formed under tense circumstances, with the individuals involved being part of a makeshift team. This partnership could be between up-and-coming superstars looking to rise up the ladder together, or established names who are united out of necessity against a greater threat. These alliances, while effective in the short term, can sometimes be volatile. WWE thrives on change, and no alliance, no matter how strong, is safe from the manipulation and power plays that make Raw so unpredictable. Triple H, being a veteran and a master of psychological warfare, has always been adept at spotting these alliances and seeing potential cracks before they even appear. It is in his character to disrupt any situation that he perceives might threaten his standing, or simply when it fits his own agenda. As the chief content officer, his involvement in storylines is often subtle but deliberate. If Triple H sees an alliance that he believes doesn't serve his long-term plans, or if he views it as a threat to his own power, it is entirely within his character to interfere. There are several factors that could motivate Triple H to break up a newly formed alliance. He is a multi-dimensional character, capable of both heelish and babyface actions depending on the narrative. Let's explore the possible reasons for his interference. Triple H has always been a figure who thrives on control. As a heel, he has often been depicted as manipulating situations to serve his interests, whether it's through backstage politics or using his influence to tilt the balance of power. In his role as CEO, he may see the alliance as a threat to the power dynamics he has established within the company. Whether it's a faction gaining too much popularity or an underdog team making waves, Triple H might feel the need to dismantle it to protect his position. Imagine this scenario. A rising faction, like a group of young stars gaining traction, is making waves on Raw. They are presented as the future of WWE, and Triple H sees them as a direct threat to his own legacy. He knows that the strength of any faction comes from the unity of its members, and by sowing seeds of discord, he could shatter their momentum. A calculated attack on their alliance, whether it's by manipulating one of the members or using a more direct confrontation, would serve to remind everyone that even the most solid partnerships can be broken by a master manipulator like him. WWE thrives on the drama of rivalries, and Triple H has always been involved in creating the most compelling storylines. He has a knack for stirring up trouble and making situations more intense, always keeping the audience on the edge of their seat. Breaking up an alliance doesn't just create chaos. It creates new stories, new conflicts, and fresh rivalries. For instance, imagine that Triple H is watching a newly formed alliance with interest, but he notices that the tension between its members is building. There's an underlying resentment or competition brewing that has yet to be fully realized. Triple H, with his decades of experience, would see this and seize the opportunity to push the storyline forward. By getting involved, whether directly or indirectly, he could exacerbate the situation and create a multi-layered feud that would captivate the Raw audience. His involvement would undoubtedly make the tension more palpable. Perhaps he tricks one member into turning on the others, or he offers a lucrative deal to one member to betray the alliance. This would generate more heat and ultimately lead to a series of matches or promos that would keep viewers invested in the storyline for weeks to come. Triple H is a shrewd strategist, and his decisions rarely come from a place of spontaneity. If he were to break up the alliance, it could be because he sees a bigger picture, one where certain superstars involved are meant to rise or fall based on the disruption. His role in this breakup might be to elevate one individual or several individuals to new heights. For example, consider a scenario where Triple H sees potential in one of the members of the alliance, but their partners are holding them back. By breaking up the team, Triple H could provide the opportunity for the breakout star to shine on their own. This would not only enhance the individual's career, but would also set up a new feud that could lead to high-profile matches at future pay-per-views. Breaking up alliances could also serve to solidify Triple H's role as a mentor to certain wrestlers. If he sees someone like a Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, or Austin Theory as ready to break out as solo stars, he might feel that the alliance is stifling their growth. By forcing them into a singles run, Triple H would be securing their future while keeping Raw's top spots fresh and competitive. A breakup initiated by Triple H would have a massive ripple effect across the Raw locker room. The fallout would depend heavily on the personalities and motivations of the individuals involved in the alliance. The betrayed member, If Triple H manipulated one member of the alliance to turn on their comrades, that individual would likely see a temporary boost in confidence and momentum. However, their moral struggle and eventual betrayal could lead to an internal conflict that would make for compelling TV. Would they embrace the dark side, or would their actions haunt them? The character arc for this member could be explosive. The victims of the breakup. For the remaining members of the alliance, their reactions would be pivotal. Some might seek revenge immediately, launching into an aggressive feud with Triple H or the betrayer. Others could find themselves questioning their place in the company, leading to self-reflection and character development. This could even set the stage for new alliances, as the remaining members either come together to face Triple H's manipulation or turn on one another. The fans. Ultimately, the audience's reaction to Triple H's actions would depend on how the story is told. If Triple H is positioned as a heel, fans will likely boo his interference, rallying behind the alliance's members. If he's positioned as a face, his actions could be justified, with fans understanding his need to shake things up. Regardless, the crowd's engagement would elevate the tension, ensuring that the storyline remains relevant for weeks to come. Breaking up a newly formed alliance on WWE Raw is not only plausible but could also be a brilliant move to shift the dynamics on the show. Triple H, with his experience, cunning, and historical role as a mastermind, is ideally positioned to manipulate such a situation to his advantage. Whether for power, storytelling, or strategic growth, his involvement would inject a fresh layer of drama into the Raw product. The breakup itself would provide fertile ground for a multitude of storylines, from rivalries to character evolutions, and would ensure that Raw remains as unpredictable and thrilling as ever. In a company built on conflict, alliances are never safe for long, and Triple H would make sure of that.